This video is going to come in two parts. Part 1 is the stuff I do today, which is Monday, not Wednesday. Part 2 will be the stuff I do tomorrow, which is Tuesday, not Wednesday. I don't have time this week. Part 1. I apologize for my appearance today. I was up until 2 last night finishing up some homework, and I got up and I was like, F this. Check out my shirt. My life would suck without you. And then on the back, can't really see it, but it says Kelly Clarkson. I went and saw Kelly Clarkson like 2 weeks ago live at the Indiana State Fair, and she was amazing. Here is what I have of my picture of my favorite album so far. Ta-da! Nothing yet. I'm gonna work on it today after class because so far I really don't have any homework. We'll see. New Rolling Stone. So this is the new Rolling Stone. Why the Beatles broke up. I haven't gotten to read it yet, which is really, really sad. But I'm planning on reading it either tonight or tomorrow so I can give a review of the article and tell you guys, maybe in my fact, how the Beatles broke up. Part 2! I finished my picture of my favorite Beatle album. Keep in mind I did get a little lazy with it. Ta-da! Abbey Road is my favorite Beatle album. Come Together is on that album, as well as I Want You, She's So Heavy, and Something, which are 3 of my all-time favorite Beatles songs. As you know from a previous video, I Want You, She's So Heavy is my favorite Beatles song, but it is very, very closely followed by Come Together. Now that I have completed my challenge, it is now time for me to draw a new person. And since I don't have a mug, I am going to use my pencil holder. It's Rhea. I don't know if Rhea's alive anymore, so I'm gonna draw another name. Eli! Okay, Eli, what you get to do is make a video, of course, because we all make videos, but at least 3 sentences you need to speak with a Liverpudlian accent. Have fun with that! For my Beatles fact, I'm gonna talk a little bit, not about Miller Lite, but about why the Beatles broke up. The Beatles broke up for several reasons. 1, there was a lot of tension in the band. John, George, and Ringo felt like Paul was basically running the band, and that everyone loved Paul, and that nobody really cared about them. Secondly, in 1967, Brian Epstein, their manager, was found dead from an accidental drug overdose. This took a big toll on the band as they had to find a new manager, and they ended up hiring Alan Klein, who was really not a good person to deal with. He had a lot of ethics issues, he had a reputation for just not being a really good businessman, and it just wasn't a good idea. Third off, Yoko. Now, a lot of people blame the Beatles' breakup solely on Yoko, but this is not the case. She did create a lot of tension, with the fact that she was there all the time in the studio when the Beatles really didn't like anyone else being in the studio besides the four of them, and the fact that she would tell them what they were doing wrong, and that John wanted her to be a part of the group, and just a whole bunch of conflicts and things that they all really didn't mesh together well. But Yoko was not the sole reason. Another reason was Apple Records. Paul was really the only one who took into account the fact that Apple Records was really a business. The other three members of the band liked to just spend their money and let Apple pick it up, especially John. So when it all came crumbling down, Paul was really the one that dealt with it, and that made him very, very angry. After the release of Let It Be, and between the four Beatles, they all knew that the band was over, Paul wanted off of Apple Records completely. So Paul called George and asked for consent to be released from Apple Records. George told him, "You'll stay on the fucking label. Hare Krishna." Paul then started going to the other two members, mainly John, and asking them and begging them to let him leave the record label. McCartney eventually went to Klein and said, "Hey, I'm gonna sue if you guys don't let me off the label." Klein laughed at him, and Paul went for it. Paul hired his father-in-law, Lee Eastman, took the Beatles to court, and since Paul hadn't signed a letter saying that Klein represented him, he officially got out of the Beatles and off Apple Records. And that's how it ended. Alright, everyone, I need to start on some homework, pack up for my next class, and edit this video. So I gotta go. Rhea, if you're alive, go ahead and do the challenge. If not, Eli, I await your completion of the challenge. And I will see you all later.